Zoom recording. All right. Well, it's September 29th, 2021. Where's my gavel? I need to get my camping hatchet out for my gavel. Thank you. All right, we will call the meeting to order at 1:34. Let's go ahead and close this off so I can get my agenda, because that is how we roll. All right. First order of business, called order, accomplished. Let's rock and roll. Roll call. We'll start with Andrew McKinney. That's me. I am here. Drew Andrews.
Here.
All right. Tyler Huffman.
I am here.
Fantastic. Ray Rush. We see you. You can wave if you want. Ray is here. Lewis, did you get that wave?
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Lewis Hill.
Yeah, here.
Charles Altendorf. All right. Charles is here. Scott Dickinson.
Here.
All right. Kimmy Zell.
Here.
Fantastic. Kim Morrow.
Here.
Yay. And Michael Wolf is not available to make it today. Unfortunately, he is not feeling well. Seems like COVID's creeping up on everybody. So he does have an excused absence. So have him in your thoughts. With that, it sounds like we have a quorum. Is that correct, Lewis? Fantastic. All right. With that, we will go on to the next item on the agenda. Our secretary, Lewis Hill, he sent the draft of the minutes for the August meeting out. We sent those out again last week. Knowing you all are judicious minute readers, let us know if you find any errors or any issues right now before we move on with that. All right, sounds good. So no changes. So let's have a motion to accept the meeting minutes as distributed. Do we have a motion?
Andrews, motion to approve.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, Scott Dickinson, second. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Thank you very much. The minutes have been accepted. Let's go on to the next item on the agenda, which is our treasurer's report. Ray, you are here. You have been recognized and you now have the floor, sir. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, I can do that. And I found the unmute button since I'm Teams calls and not Zoom calls.
Congratulations. It's a big day. All right, stop and share.
All right, you're going to need to give me permission to.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I've got that. There you go.
Bear with me here for a moment as this thing pops up. Yeah, here we go. All right, the KAMP treasury report for September. In our checking account, we have $12,000, $12,537.03. In savings, we have $24,037.02. In the scholarship, we have $3,658.47. Not much else to mention as far as going through my list of items here to cover, but probably the one thing to mention is our accounts receivables. We have accumulated over the years quite a bit of account receivables, mostly associated with past conferences. And of that, you know, we've got $2,415 that's over 90 days. And some of that even goes back prior to 2018. So I would like to make a motion for consideration to forgive the expenses prior to 2018, that being so old, it may not be able to be recovered.
Andrews, also move.
Okay, so it sounds like we do have a motion to forgive the $455 prior to 2018. That's right?
Yeah, to clean it off the books.
Okay, let's have any discussions first. Well, actually, no, I guess we could do that first. We have a motion. We do need a second. Do we have a second? And then we can open it up for discussion.
I believe Dr. Andrews seconded the motion.
I had to make it.
Yeah, he had to make it.
All right, I will second said motion.
All right, Charles, let's open this up for discussion from the rest of the board. Thoughts on that?
What are the,
Oh, I'll let you go, Dr. Andrews.
what are the basic details? What's missing? What do people owe us for?
It's mostly old conference registrations,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm absolutely.
workshop registrations.
At this point.
Yeah, I know when we were discussing this earlier in the year, it was something that we wanted to focus on this year, hoping coming out of the pandemic, we'd have a bit more access and, people would be in a more normal place to start answering these questions. I think with our big concern with things that are that old is probably turnover, trying to get a hold of these folks, things like that. There's an opportunity here for us to be more diligent. That was part of the plan this year, but again, pandemic's still rocking it. As far as A and B, we definitely need to start working towards resolving those. But at this point, I think you're right. Personally, I feel like that amount is fine enough to forgive. Looking at our savings and our checking, that's okay with me. Now, once we start talking about B, I think we need to do a bit more due diligence on seeing if we can rectify that. But as a new treasurer and wanting to make sure that your books are pretty clean, I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, so those are my thoughts.
Yeah, and just to add to it, we're not wiping it all out. This is just a step in that direction. One is in this meeting, I'd like to bring it to the attention of the membership of this being an issue, and that we are taking action to resolve this.
All right. Is there any more discussion? All right. Going once, going twice. All right, let's go ahead and let's vote. So those in favor of, we'll call it forgiving the amounts receivable prior to 2018 of the amount of $455. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The motion passes. And the recommendation should be adopted. Ray, do your magic.
Okay.
Make it disappear, I guess. We'll start. Yeah, as a team though, we do need to start looking at the other money that's obviously owed. Again, now that we're coming back into a more normal step, we could start looking towards that. And then, as Ray had mentioned, these are our members are here. We realize this organization can't happen without the funds that get provided, and we're going to be doing a lot more next year. So we need to be a lot more, diligent about this. So, all right, moving on. Ray, you still have the floor. Anything else to discuss?
Nothing else. I'll stop sharing. Nope.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Ray. As usual, we do call for a motion to accept the treasurer's report. Screen 2. So with that, do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report as reported?
I am so moved.
Charles is so moved. Do we have a second?
This is Kimmy. I'll second.
All right, Kim Azell second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. All right, we've accepted the treasurer's report as reported by Ray. Thank you, Ray. We'll yield your rest of your time. We'll move on to the communications committee report. I did receive a message from Jessica that she is not able to make it to the meeting today, so she doesn't have much to report other than she and the rest, some folks on the board highly recommend us really look into funding a better website, whatever that means, whatever that looks like, whether that's hiring a designer of some sort to make it so, or hiring a company to rebuild from scratch. It is one of our Yeah, right. It is one of the most important parts of our face, if you will. We want to make it easy for our members to access and use. And what we've had for a long time has been great. But as technologies have changed and as opportunities arise, there's potential for us to go into the kind of the next phase of our website and our web presence. So based off of her recommendations as communications committee chair for quite some time now. It is something that we will be continually bringing up the rest of the year, and maybe with a major focus on it next year. There's lots of concerns with it. It's not something easy, but it is something that I think is a valiant effort on our part. So that's the main thing that she wanted to report. I don't know if I can answer any questions, but does anybody have any questions for communications at this time?
Does Ray have any money we can have?
Ray, do you have money?
Did we just free some?
Yeah, I mean, we could, there's ways to go about these things. Looking at the funds we have, doing fundraisers, increasing dues. No, I don't. We've talked about that in the past, but Ray, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have money for it, but I guess, the first thing we need to establish is this coming from a digital background is, what do we want to have out of that and get that down clearly. We've had some conversations back and forth. Just really tighten that up.
Yep.
Maybe have a working committee of some sort around that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea. So those members that are listening, if you have some sort of background or knowledge or interest, you don't even have to have any background or knowledge, just interest is good. And helping communications committee and the board as a whole kind of take this next step, I think we would gladly appreciate the help with kind of tightening that up. We've got notes, we've got some working documents on what that would look like. But some organization around that structure would be wonderful. So I think, Ray, you're right. I think a working group, subcommittee, something along those lines would be good. Any other thoughts?
I'll just pipe in that as the last communications chair prior to Jessica, this is a very important need. It's messy the way our membership management site, Wild Apricot, is integrated with our kampro.org website, as well as the use of our different methods for distributing email communications and all the social media platforms out there. I think we need some help with our digital presence and getting that streamlined and more concise, so it's easier for a volunteer to maintain.
That's great. And, I'd also throw out there that we have lots of people that are on the call that are, I'm sure, part of other organizations that may do this very well. I'm a big fan of not recreating the wheel. So if there's people out there that are part of an organization of our size or around there that does the website member management stuff really well, then maybe we can kind of and we'll put your logo out there too, and just so thanks for the help. But that would be a good way to kind of get going as well. So these sort of meetings are really good for us to kind of continue to call to arms our members and your skill sets, if you will. So great. Anything else?
I'd sell chocolate bars for that.
Hey, I am consistently buying chocolate bars. If someone comes into the office with those little boxes with the handle, I'll be the first one in line. I'll buy all the peanut butter and the crispy ones, just to let you know. So if
That
you have
was
those lying
you.
around, make sure they're all gone before, and then I sell them for $1.25 at my desk. I'm just kidding. All right. Anything else on that? All right, fantastic. Let's move along to the membership committee report. Ashley Patterson, who's our interim membership chair right now. Thank you, Ashley. We did have a changeover earlier in the year. So those that are looking for something to do, we could definitely use some help in the membership avenue. So we are looking for a new membership chair as a director is doing kind of double duty there. So anyways, I'll stop talking about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later, I'm sure. Ashley, you are here. You are recognized. You have the floor.
Nice segue, by the way. I like that. Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley, and I'm just filling in for the membership chair. And I just wanted to let everybody know, while you're out there proselytizing to your friends to, help them become members, I came up with a very brief list of the top 5 reasons that they should get a membership right away. Number one, KAMP membership has 0 calories. Number two, it's a resume maker. Number three, KAMP membership looks great on you. Number four, look around. When else will you get to hang with all these cool people? And number five, did I say four? Yes, number five, top reasons to become a KAMP member. Membership comes with 294 new friends, which segues me into reading off my numbers. The KAMP corporate membership is 14 active right now. Our individuals are at 257, but we can do better. Don't forget the list. And our KAMP student membership is 23 active right now. And I think that's all.
Awesome, Ashley. And you can see why I asked her to be our interim. She's got that.
Not
she's got- that's fantastic. Thank you, Ashley. Is there any questions from the board on our current membership numbers? I'm sure we saw a slight uptick when the conference was coming up. That's usually the case. That's pretty traditional. I'm not going to call you out and have you do the math right now, just because I know that's probably what's happened. So that's always a good time for people to get their membership up, especially thanks to our sponsors this year, being able to make this conference free to our membership. So $25 for your membership is a pretty cheap date for all the content that we've been providing, I think.
We had roughly 30 new renewals in the last couple of weeks for our, yeah.
That's
it was
perfect.
on my list, I'm sure.
Awesome. All right. Any discussion on that?
It's amazing how the conference encourages member renewals.
Yep. Awesome. Good deal. I guess I stopped sharing my screen so you all can't see the agenda any longer. Oh, am I sharing my screen?
You're good. It's
Oh, okay. Oh, good. So sometimes it gives me a little border. Sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, I don't have the border right now, but now I see I'm sharing. So great. All right. Well, moving along. Thank you so much, Ashley. We had the rest of your time and move on to the next item on our agenda, which is our scholarship committee report. Demetrio, DZ, you are here. You are recognized and you have the floor, sir. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, please, Andrew. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right. So, lots of hard work from the committee. The committee members were Dr. Caleb Huffman from EKU, Scott Dobler, WKU, City of White House, Tennessee, Utilities, Joya Williams, UK, Ryan Kelly, BCTC, Peggy McKillip, Baker Arboretum, WKU, John Jack Schwab, a former recipient of the scholarship, Rebecca Cowherd, also a former recipient, myself, and Lance Morris, whose help was crucial to make this a successful endeavor. So we solicited contributions to endow or grow the scholarship fund from different private sector members. I think they are members of KAMP. Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline and Precision Products and Precision Capture, all three gave substantial contribution to make the awards possible. They were $2,000, roughly over $2,000, slightly over, from previous donors. I do not know whether those donors were recognized at that time. We know their names. Then we had a successful year. We had 11 applicants. Last year it was 16, but it was the first year where we were testing the method. So this year, 11 solid applicants that sent in all the information that was requested, and then we contacted their faculty contacts and everything. We had all the things to judge them properly. 4 from UK, 2 from Murray State, 1 from EKU, 3 from Western Kentucky University, and 1 from University of Pennsylvania. So one thing we did this year was to anonymize, to redact everything. So no person's names, no gender references, no school names, no department names, and no faculty names. That took a long time to do, but we were very grateful that the judges appreciate that too. The entries were given a unique identifier, which was randomized the order in which they were received, like 1 through 11, whatever. Only myself had the decoder ring for this, so all the members, committee members, actually the judges only saw the applications. The scorecards were based on a rubric that we developed ad hoc for this year, based on the previous one. We tweaked some questions. We gave some bonus points for becoming members, for being members of KAMP, or for uploading additional ancillary materials. Only 6 members of the committee were deemed worthy of being judges, because we all had either connections to the universities or
Demetrio, do you mind
Yes.
speaking up just a little bit? We've got some folks.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
I will get closer to the, like, I want to tell you.
All right. Thank
Can you hear me now? All right. So six members of the committee were judges. That's why you want a large committee, so that you can have a few, at least 3 or 4, right? The results were also received from the judges and anonymized, so that the judges would not know who the other judges were, and processed statistically to give results that were consistent. And they were discussed in committee, and the committee approved the results. There were 11 applicants, and 6 were deemed to be worthy of receiving an award. The winners will be announced shortly at the upcoming award ceremony, and the monies will be disbursed to the appropriate financial entities, the bursar's office of each institution, so that the intended use is ensured. We don't want them buying things, I don't know, imagine, blind, whatever. Don't spend it all in one place, right? $500. So that's a report. Any questions?
Excellent. Thank you, Demetrio. One comment, extraordinarily thorough. I thought you all did a wonderful job this year, as well as the committee last year. You all picked up the torch and ran with it. So I just want to thank you all for being just really diligent, really just a wonderful process that was built. So thank you.
We tried, and thank you so much for the opportunity to serve KAMP.
Yep. You always do it well. All right. Well, with that, thank you, Demetrio. Open it up to the rest of the board for questions, comments. I mean, what can you say about that, right? I mean, they killed it. We're giving away some funds to students that deserve it. So I'm not surprised that there's not much feedback on that, because we've been giving them feedback all year, so it's not like we haven't said anything to them. So again, thank you, Demetrio. Really looking forward to the ceremony here in a little bit. Great job. Do you have anything else?
Nope. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. We had the rest of your time. Thank you so much, Demetrio. All right. Let's go back and share my screen. Moving right along. All right. The next item we have on the agenda. Am I doing it right? I think it looks good. Y'all can see the agenda again. All right. Head nods. All right. We have the Education and Professional Development Committee report with Vince Denoto. Vince, you are here in attendance. You've been recognized and you have the floor, sir.
Okay. And I do not need to share my screen.
Okay.
Hopefully everybody enjoyed the pre-conference workshops that we put on this year. I think we had some good speakers there. And I have to thank my team that basically put this, did all the logistics behind the scene and things. So if you went to this morning's session and that Andrew put on, and you heard what was being discussed, obviously one of the things that was being discussed was we want more training and more training. And we need to reconstitute our committee a little bit. So I'm going to put in the chat in just a moment my email address. So if you'd like to join that committee, just drop me a note. The other part of that is if you have a topic you'd like us to cover before the end of the year, drop us a note and we will see what we can do. But we still would like to have 1 or 2 more professional development activities before the end of the year. But the committee partially on my fault, has not been terribly active this year, but I think we've put on some good shows with what we've been able to do and things. That's all I have, Andrew.
All right. Well, I'm going to object to your last comment because I think you've done plenty. You've done a lot. It's been a weird year. We've had some wonderful workshops. So thank you. And huge thanks to the Geotech Center for putting on the workshops as well as our other workshops that we had throughout the year. As I've stated to you before, you all have been integral in the success of KAMP. So can't thank you all enough for making the Education and Professional Development Committee look awesome. I'm sure we'll continue. And we have had a few people wanting to reach out to help. Because as we saw from Drew's presentation this morning, training is highly wanted. So we've got to start figuring that out, topics and whatnot. But I think we do a great job, and I think we'll continue to do it. So thank you again, Vince. Thank you again, Vince's team. Thank you again, Geotech Center, and all the people that have presented with them. So we'll go ahead, and we've got a comment from Drew. Drew, you have the floor.
I just want to offer that this organization as a whole has got a lot of different expertise, and I think we could help Vince and that committee out if people would consider participating in developing some of that training and helping to communicate what you do and what you know to the rest of the organization in as many different ways as possible, not just necessarily a 20-minute presentation here at the conference, but also assisting with KAMP quarterlies, workshops, mid-year workshops, conference workshops, etc. Y'all are all smart at something. Let's start sharing that.
Excellent points, Drew. Thank you. Any other comments, questions from the rest of the board? All right. Well, we've still got a few months left, as Vince had mentioned. They want to put on a couple more workshops, so let the ideas start flowing. Let's think about what we're wanting to do. And as members, you all have a voice. As Drew put on so elegantly this morning, I thought that was an amazing presentation. So we want to continue that feedback. It's just not during the conference, it's anytime. As I think somebody said earlier, I think it was Kenny Ratliff, if you can't find me, it's your fault. We got KAMP stuff everywhere, so reach out and we'll get you what you need. So all right, great. Well, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is our awards committee report. Anne-Marie, you are here, you are recognized, and you have the floor.
Well, Drew's segue about sharing the things that we're doing feeds right into what I have to say about the awards committee, which is that I'm excited to present some awards tomorrow during our lunch session. But unfortunately, we didn't receive as many nominations as I would have liked to see this year. Not every category received a nomination. We didn't have any nominations for fellows, for people that were qualified. And I know we've got some great KAMP members who have been around for a while who deserve to be recognized as a KAMP fellow. So I just want to encourage everyone to think about who you know that's doing great work and tell KAMP about it, because we do want to recognize those members as well. And that's all I have to say.
And I'll add on to that. The form's not very big, right? I mean,
No, it's pretty easy.
Takes a few minutes, if that.
Or if you don't want to fill out a form on the website, shoot an email to awards@kampro.org. And that will come to me also.
Yeah. It's a really nice, super simple way to recognize those that deserve recognition. So we definitely need to do better as an organization. Let's recognize those. Again, we keep leaning back on the pandemic as a weird year, and we're all extraordinarily busy, and I totally get that. We're all sympathetic to that. So just know that there is opportunity to improve. Got some lessons learned here. We've got some money to spend on some awards. So I like collecting them. They're all at my office, so I don't have any here. So my wife's happy about that. When I changed jobs, I had them all kind of scattered in the house. And she's like, "Are you taking them to the new place?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I grabbed all two of my awards and brought them with me. So they're nice to have. So let's see if we can get to recognizing our fellow members. So anything else from the rest of the board on that? All right. Well, thank you so much, Anne-Marie, for stepping up this year as awards chair. That was huge. Looking forward to the ceremony tomorrow during our lunch session, right? So look forward to that. All right, well, the next item on the agenda is old business. We had no old business. I think the last meeting we had, a lot of it was focused on getting ready for the conference. So not too terribly surprised there. The only new business item that we had, I believe, was accepting of the treasurer's motion to dissolve the funds from 2018. So if we could just jot that down. With that, is there any other new business from the board that we want to discuss? Those that are present, you recognize you have the floor. Feel free to unmute yourself and bring up any new business that needs to be brought up. Once, twice. All right. Moving along, we've got some other business. These is just some other items that we'd like to discuss during our call just to see how it's going. One of the items that is on the list here, oh, I'm not sharing I am sharing my screen. This is crazy. Kim Azell and team have put on the NG 911 working group throughout the year. So Kim, if you're prepared and you don't mind talking just a little bit about that and how that was, how that came to be and how that's going and how others can get involved. You're here and you have the floor.
Sure, thanks, Andrew. So our next meeting date is going to be October the 19th at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Time or 2:00 p.m. Central Time. And we've reached out to the Callaway County 911 Center, and they're going to be sharing about their experience in successfully receiving a significant Kentucky 911 Services Board grant for a visionary countywide GIS project. So everyone look for the distribution flyer and please come and join us. Thank you.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thanks, Kim. This is a prime example of a director joining our board, putting forth an idea, the board seeing the value and giving them the power to put on these types of working groups. So thank you, Kim and team. It's been an awesome service. I've been Louisville Metro, and we've got folks here that deal with 911, and they're also, as most people are, concerned, maybe a little confused, but that's becoming more clear as time gone along, especially thanks to this 911 working group, I believe. So great service to our KAMP membership. So thanks, Kim. Any questions from the board on that? All right, great. Thank you, Kim. We yield the rest of your time. We'll move on to the next item. This is something that we've been working on a little bit this year. As the conference has gone along, we've kind of paused a bit. But we've made some good strides, and that's on our committee strategic plans timelines, which we've recently dubbed, thank you, Anne-Marie, as the playbook. Every time we said committee strategic plans and timelines, she rolled her eyes and fell asleep. So we thought we needed something a bit more, fun and eye-catching, and it makes more sense. So we've been working on those pretty diligently. But before that, we've also this year have been working on a KAMP drive. One thing that I noticed as a director, and others have as well, this isn't new, is that we have these documents, we have things all over the place. So we're trying to consolidate that. So big thanks to the communications chair for setting us up this Google Drive. And we're starting to organize our thoughts in here. I've been using this mostly this year to kind of drive meetings, make sure that things are sort of organized, because I'm very scatterbrained. So this is a great way for me to kind of maintain things. So all of our board meetings, our recordings are organized in here, correspondence for major events and items, and then roles and documentation. This is one of the big things we're working on. So specifically, I'll call out the membership committee chair, because this is one of the ones we were working on. So this is our playbook document that we've been working on, and we're going to hopefully finish the rest of them out at the end of this year. So what our hope is for this is once we're done with this document, this could be a living, breathing, it's not set in stone document that we can hand off to the chair and other committee members and those that are interested in to see, what it looks like to be part of that committee, what their purpose and objective is, what their goals are, kind of a timeline. What are the things you need to be thinking about before your first meeting, reoccurring items throughout the year, any time sensitive things you need to discuss, and any end of year things that you need to review. Then also a FAQ. So that'll probably be kind of a building block for what happens throughout the year. Just kind of a, I don't want to say dumping ground, because that's not what it is. We want to make it more valuable than that. I'll have questions and comments that come up that we don't exactly know, right off the bat, but we could use that FAQ. So we're working on that for each one of our committees. So hopefully, again, we have this documentation that we can take on, and that's also going to be done for our roles and not just the committees, but our roles as well. So president-elect, board directors, things like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. With that, it is 2:09. We are right on time. I love when we do this. So with that, I want to move on to our next item, which is the adjournment. Let me see how I do this. Oh, yes. Do we have a motion to adjourn the September 29th KAMP board meeting?
I'm so moved.
Oh, we got so many. All right, we got Charles. Everybody's ready to go. We've still got the scholarship. Stick around. Don't leave. All right, Charles, we've got the motion. All right, thanks, Lewis. And then Drew, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Fantastic. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. We have been adjourned. It is 2:10. Congratulations, everybody. That was really good. All right. So with that, I'm going to stop my screen share. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to, yes, I'm going to stop my screen share because I don't want to give anything away because we're going to move on to our next item on our main agenda of our general session. Drew, did you have anything else to say before we move on?
Nope. Rock and roll.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Demetrio, can I get a thumbs up from you? How you feeling? Good. All right, so we're here.
Yeah, I just muted and all that. Yes.
All right.
Well
All right. Sounds good. So with that, we will move on to the KAMP Scholarship Awards. Demetrio, I do have all of your slides here, so hopefully you're familiar with them. Or do you want to share your screen?
Let me run it. Let me run the slides myself, if you don't mind.
That sounds good. I don't mind at all. Let's do that. I'll stop sharing my screen and you take it away.
To go here, just a second.
All right.
Once you start on presentation mode, it just takes up the whole screen. Okay, we'll do this way. Just a second. I apologize for that. Trying to decrease the size of the slide so everybody can see it, and then share my screen there. All right. First off, well, welcome to the 2021 KAMP Scholarship Award Ceremony. We have a set of slides as thanks to our hardworking committee, and the committee, as I have said before, was made up by former recipients, academics, government sector, some with ties to education institutions, some didn't, but everybody put in hard work. Judging applications for scholarships is really, really hard. Can everybody hear me well? Yep. Okay. Thank you so much to our donors to the scholarship fund for this year. Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline, Precision Products, and Precision Capture. They made possible for us to distribute a substantial number of awards, only to the ones who were worthy with, because we didn't give awards to everybody. Okay, so we will announce now the winners of the scholarship competition, and I know that Ms. Rebecca Ramsey is in the room, so I need to see whether you want to unmute yourself, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're there, okay, good. She won the $1,000 KAMP Southern Star Central Gas Pipeline Scholarship Award. Rebecca is with the University of Kentucky in the master's program. Her project was Rates and Fees Applied to a 2018 map of Kentucky County Fund raised from jail. Rebecca, you want to say something about this?
Do you want to know about the map, or do you just want me to say the thanks to the people who? Sure. The premise of the map is I wanted to make an interactive website that had the maps for the fees and the rates of Kentucky jails for a 15-minute phone call in a way that made it obvious that facilities were either above or below the state average, and by how much. It was kind of inspired by On the Media episode with Brooke Gladstone, and I had learned about how the cost of communication from inside was outrageous fees and rates with phone calls from prisons. While the FCC back in 2014, they put a cap on those rates and fees for federal prisons, but that didn't apply for jails because that is more of a local entity. And from there, it became more of a geo-journalist website where I added more supplemental information about how there are people trying to work around to still be able to communicate, because this is a huge impact on those who are incarcerated if they're expected to maintain connections with their lawyers and their employers and their family while they're waiting for a trial, because there's lots of instances in which people haven't even been convicted yet. And so it's impeding on their interaction in the world around them. As far as the map goes, the first roadblock I ran into was that there weren't any geo listings of the local jails. There was just a county map that said whether or not there was a incarceration facility within that county. It did not dictate geolocation. So I basically had to go comb through the internet looking for key terms and pulled off of each individual facility's website their address, and then geolocated it, and then merged it with the prison policy initiative. They have some data, which was the phone rates for jails across the nation if the jails actually reported it. So I merged that data together and then basically made an interactive web map. And I can drop a link to that in the chat if people want to take a look at that, because all of that information that I created in like a CSV that I merged with the phone rates and data is provided with links on there so other people can pull from there. It also has the links for the prison policy initiative and a lot of the good work that they are doing for equity when it comes to prisons and jails. Let's see.
Yeah, it would be good for you to put it in the chat box so everybody. I know that you had posters and all kinds of things that you presented, so go ahead and do that. Let's see.
I will do that.
Okay, thank you so much, Rebecca. And
No, thank you, you guys. It'll be put to good use.
Very good. So next winner, Zachary Hollingsworth. I don't think Zachary is here with us. He received a $500 KAMP Precision Product Scholarship. Zachary is with Eastern Kentucky University at the undergraduate program. His project dealt with the historical survey of the Dan Beard Scout Reservation camp in Ohio. Next winner, Alexandra Crane, $500 KAMP Precision Capture Scholarship. She's with the University of Kentucky and a PhD program exploring population density in proximity to freeways in Los Angeles, California. Ms. Crane is with us. You want to unmute yourself and say something about yourself, Alexandra?
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you so much for this award. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know, should I speak about the project?
You can say something, or nothing, or just thank you. I know that your project was quite elaborate, and if you have some highlights you want to mention, because the project was a central thing to the competition as well. So.
Yeah.
What made you do this? Why would you do this project?
So I'm from Los Angeles, and this is two really hot topics to Los Angeles: freeways and housing, like cars and housing. And this was quite several years ago, and it was at the time when EPA was really stressing looking at pollutants from roadways, especially truck traffic and the small particulate matter and how it affects health. And as we know, Los Angeles has a housing crisis. It kind of always had it. And a lot of the urban kind of infill that happened was right around freeways and roadways. So there's a lot of housing that was built near highways, and the rationale was, well, we have housing shortage, we need this. But on the other hand, are we putting people in harm's way from the pollutants? And so I was just thinking about ways to kind of geographically study this using GIS. And most population data, which you get from the census, is quite coarse. So I was just trying to figure out ways of how to map population data on a much finer scale, right? Because we're talking maybe like 1,000-foot buffer. So it's very, very fine. And so I read about this asymmetric mapping procedure that combines census population data with raster land use data to get like a much finer scale representation of population. So in one way, it was a very hot topic for where I was living at the time. But on the other hand, it was very appealing to my nerdy GIS side because I get to learn this kind of new complicated technique. And so the outcome was this poster that I did for a regional geography conference.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being part of this program, and congratulations to you. Thank you. Next winner, Chloe Cooper from Western Kentucky University. Chloe is with a master's program, and she won a $500 KAMP scholarship. Her project was hazard response planning in karst groundwater systems using an integrated GIS modeling and management approach. I don't think she's with us today. The next winner was Nathaniel Deaton, the $500 KAMP scholarship. Nate, or Nathaniel, is with the University of Kentucky and a master's program. His project was Cats in Culture, a story map. And Nathaniel is present. You want to unmute yourself and say something, perhaps, about the project?
Yes. Hi, Demetrio. Thank you all so much for the scholarship. Yeah, I decided that now's the time to write about cats before things become a little bit more serious. So I decided to do a project that was essentially pipelining these vector formatted shapefiles into GeoJSON and using that for web mapping. And so I decided to just create a story map of like looking at cats through culture and geography and how they adapted, and create like a fun educational tool out of it. So that was really the driving force. So the idea is to switch out something for, you know, cats and culture. You could look at something in Italy and create a story that way. And so that was really the intriguing part for me. So yeah, and I'm just continuing into next year. It should be finished soon. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's a story map online. I mean, accessible to the world, or?
Yes, I have a URL for it, so I can send them to the chat here.
Yeah, please do that.
Okay, will do.
Thank you. Very good. That's a very interesting project. I read the description, and you know, you go back all the way to the Sumerians and Egyptians, I think. So.
Yes, I have a background in archaeology and anthropology, and so I'm looking at ways to combine GIS and make, you know, interesting figures and models that way. And I just used to love textbooks, so I think this is a really interactive way to create new educational tools. So that's why I was excited about it. So well, thank you.
Congratulations to you. Last but not least, Clint Cornelison from Murray State University received the $500 KAMP scholarship. Clint is with the undergraduate program at Murray State University at the Earth and Environmental Sciences Department. His project was detecting kudzu infestation utilizing satellite imagery and GIS. There was a paper this morning of which he's been principal author, presented by Dr. Haluk Chetan, probably his advisor, faculty advisor there. So Clint is not with us today. Anyway, congratulations to Clint and all the winners. We will be contacting the universities, the bursars at the universities, to make that those awards available to the students for the intended purposes. Again, thank you so much for competing and winning, and congratulations to you. If you want to take over, Andrew.
Let's do it, yeah. Let's give them all a virtual round of applause. Congratulations. That's fantastic. I had the opportunity to be one of the judges, so it was one of my favorite parts, is looking through your projects and hear about what you're doing. And to Nathaniel's point, one thing I really enjoy is I do hear a lot about people that are recovering archaeologists or recovering anthropologists or recovering whatever, now in GIS. That's the power of this tool. We get a lot of people from all these different organizations that start getting addicted to this technology. So we're glad to have you. Come on over and tell your friends about it. So all right.
I forgot to say, Don't be surprised if the future committee for 2022 asks your assistance in judging others, because that's a good thing to be judged and then be able to understand how the judging process happens. Thank you again.
That's awesome. Again, thank you, Demetrio and team. Thank you, winners. Appreciate the links. With that, I'm going to hand it back over to Drew, who will MC the rest of the session. And yeah, I think let me share my screen. Drew, take it away.
I think, yeah, announcements is basically it. A reminder, go check out the map gallery. Clock is ticking down on that. We have the social this evening at 5 p.m. Going to be doing the scavenger hunt. Ryan Herman will be herding the cats on that one. Keep the cat reference going. Hey. And we have the focus session tomorrow at 9 a.m. where we will be talking about getting your ideas for future conferences. So and the KAMP cookbook. Make sure to check out the KAMP cookbook. That's probably going to stay live for a while, but the link is in the conference agenda. So we would love to see contributions to that. And so session 11 starts at 3 o'clock. You've got half an hour, 3 o'clock Eastern. So you've got half an hour. Go relax, enjoy, stretch, move, get some air, and we'll have some more great sessions coming up. Congratulations again to all the students. Fantastic job, fascinating projects. Just appreciate what everybody's putting in here. That's takes a village and a nice team effort, and things are rolling along great. So thank you all, and we'll see you in half an hour.